For Canada's Indigenous people, it's another tragic but not unexpected moment. Less than a month after the remains of 215 children were found in British Columbia, more unmarked graves uncovered at another Catholic residential school in Saskatchewan province.
We started our radar penetrating research on June the 2nd of 2021. Over the past years, the oral stories of our elders, of our survivors, and friends of our survivors have told us stories that knew these burials were here.
One survivor said Indigenous people were labeled heathens by the Catholic Church, and nuns told the children they didn't have souls.
I'm 80 years old, and I went to boarding school down there. I was taken by my parents to go. At that time, if the parents didn't want to allow their children to go to boarding school, one of them had to go to jail. So in order that we keep the family together, we went to boarding school. They brought us there, we stayed there.
First Nations leaders in Canada are now demanding the Pope apologize for atrocities committed against them in the name of the Catholic Church and help them identify their dead. Countrywide protests, vandalized churches, calls by activists to cancel Canada Day, all part of the fallout. Earlier this week at the United Nations, China, itself often under the spotlight for human rights violations, criticized Canada.
Over 150,000 Indigenous children in Canada were reported to have been forcibly taken away from their parents. At least 4,000 children died of disease, neglect, accidents, or abuse while at school. We call for a thorough and impartial investigation into all cases where crimes were committed against the Indigenous people, especially the children.
International condemnation that prompted an angry response from Canada's Prime Minister.
In Canada, we had a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Where is China's Truth and Reconciliation Commission? Where is their truth? Where is the openness that Canada has always shown and the responsibility that Canada has taken for the terrible mistakes of the past and indeed many of which continue into the present?
Indigenous leaders say school deaths were underreported, and the actual number of children in unmarked graves across Canada could be in the tens of thousands. They want to find them all. But even if they do, poor record-keeping means bodies may never be identified. So the families who still remember the children who went to school and never came home may never have closure. Zein, Basravi, Al Jazeera.